This is the Halftime Show with Omar Adori on Pulse 95.
Yes, salam, welcome to the Halftime Show with Omar Adori. I am your host, covering everything sport, international and local. Hope you're having a blessed day wherever you're tuned in around the world, whether it's 95 FM, pulse95radio.com, our app, Sharjah Broadcasting Authority, or even if you're chilling at home watching us live on YouTube. Thank you very much for spending your Saturday afternoon with me, and I will make it worth your while. Now, okay, on the show today, Dareen Barbar is on the show and she graces us with her presence on the Halftime Show. I'm very excited about this person because it's probably the first of her kind. She's someone that's going to inspire many, many people when she tells you about not just her story, not just her journey, but also her ambitions. And you know what? Sometimes when you meet people and you're in their presence, you just kind of feel their energy. And I can't wait to share that energy with you here on the show. She's a life coach, a triathlete, the first Arab amputee to win WBFF, the first to finish SSS Triathlon 2018, and is among the most influential women in the region. And we talked to her about her challenges, her victories, and her ambitions on the only place to be at 3, the Halftime Show on Pulse 95.
This is the Halftime Show with Omar Adori on Pulse 95.
Let's get ready to rumble. She just said she likes my energy, so I'm already buzzing even more. Dareen Barbar's on the show. Dareen, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me on the show.
My pleasure. How are you feeling today?
Great, I feel awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, the energy is up high in the room, and that's thanks to you. So I really appreciate you taking the time to spend your Saturday afternoon with me. Now, Dareen, there's a lot of things about you that, you know, I've told you off air is the reason why I really wanted to get you on the show and interview you. But let's take it back to your childhood, especially that you're a proud mom of 2.
Yeah.
You have amazing things that you're doing at the moment. What was your childhood like growing up?
I grew up in a family of 5.
Mm-hmm.
I have my sister, she's older than me, my brother, and I'm the third child. I'm the youngest.
Mm-hmm.
We grew up in Lebanon during the war, of course.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a quite challenging childhood during the war, you know, running away from bombs, hiding in the shelter. So it was a difficult childhood, but we were happy. Mm-hmm. Although it was war, but we were happy.
Yeah, and so you said you grew up there. How long were you there for?
I lived in Lebanon until I got married in 2006. I moved to UAE.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fantastic. And then so let's take it back to the school days. When you were at school, how was it like? Were you always an athlete? Firstly.
Yeah. I was passionate about playing basketball.
Yeah.
I used to play on the school team. We used to go to tournaments.
Right.
And at this age, I was like 13, 14. You are admired by your peers, by your teachers, looking forward to the high school years.
Yeah.
So I was pretty active girl at that time, and I loved sports. My mom used to tell me, stop playing. Every day I used to finish my homework so quickly and go back to the playground to practice. So
right.
I was that obsessed with basketball.
Okay, fantastic. So it's always been a part of your routine, your lifestyle.
Yeah.
Have you ever been challenged as a youngster? Now, with the athleticism and obviously with the incredible person you've turned out to be now and the people that you're inspiring, what was your biggest challenge as a child?
I think because of the time that we grew up, like during the war, it was challenging to do activities a lot.
Right.
Back in the days, there wasn't internet, there wasn't anything. So we were living in a building, and we didn't have the privilege of going outdoors whenever we want. So I would wait for the summer to go to the mountains and to be in the outdoors. And also we were running away from the war in the city. So it was challenging, Yeah, but we survived it. I survived it.
Yeah, absolutely. And so growing up, what people sometimes don't understand when it comes to stories like what you're mentioning now and real life experiences is that's a way of life. What you have to face, the sounds that you hear, the people that you're around, the things that you have to avoid, the people that we lose in these countries. How does that take its toll on you mentally?
Yeah. It's really hard, to hear. Thankfully, we didn't get hurt during the war or anything, but we passed through really rough times. I remember an incident when we wanted to cross borders. And my father dropped us at the border. There was like peace. They say they were not shooting, so
Yes.
there was peace.
Yes.
And we had to cross on our feet. You know, we had to walk like 2 kilometers to
Right.
cross to the other border.
Yeah.
And suddenly they started shooting.
Oh,
And
wow.
we were running. My mom was carrying the bags, and she was like running and lifting me off the ground, literally. Like she
Wow.
was like running like a horse.
Yeah, mashallah.
Yeah, I had to really face these moments and staying 6 hours or 7 hours in the car, in the traffic, just to pass the where they have checkpoints.
Yes,
And, you know, it was a difficult time.
absolutely.
But, you know, I'm grateful. I'm grateful, like, it made me who I am now. I passed through all these experiences,
Yeah.
and I'm proud. I'm proud to have, you know, passed through this.
Survived it. Yeah,
survived
yeah,
it.
Absolutely. You know, Dareen, for those that don't know, you've achieved so much. Okay, you haven't let anything set you back. Among those challenges, obviously, and people now looking at you will be very inspired by your story. Can you tell us a little bit more about your story, and also tell us more about the challenges that you faced coming
Yeah.
into this?
Yeah. Like I said, because we were living through the war,
Yeah.
and when the war ended in 1993, I was 15 at that age, and you know, yeah, the war ended. Now I can live my life, and suddenly I get this diagnosis, osteogenic sarcoma, very aggressive bone cancer in my knee, and like the whole picture has changed. I was shocked.
Yeah.
I was in the hospital, surrounded by doctors, by IVs. I had to do chemotherapy for 7 months. I was pulled out of school in the middle of the year also as well. So it was a shocking experience for me to go through. But all through that time, I was still hopeful and positive and wanted to finish with it. And like I was saying, yeah, like what's next? What do I do now? Like I want to get on with my life.
Yeah.
So it was tough, you know, going through this experience,
Yeah.
and going back to school also after I had my leg amputated above the knee,
Yeah.
and not being able to play sports again, not even trying, you know.
Yeah.
I didn't have also, like now we have the luxury of social media and the internet and everything. Back in the days, I'm 43 by the way now.
Mashallah.
So I'm like,
Wow.
Yeah.
I would have never guessed that.
yeah.
Wow, mashallah, amazing.
So 1993, 1994, there wasn't like, yeah, you have you have goosebumps.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so there wasn't internet. There wasn't like, yeah, I can check this social media account, get
Yeah.
inspired by it, and do whatever they're doing. No, there wasn't something like that. So I was on my own, kind of on my own, doing
Yeah.
it on my own. So it was challenging, but I overcame it because of the help of my family, the support, and my relative, my friends.
Yeah.
Everybody was supportive.
Has that shaped the type of person that you are, with the way that you are with your kids, having all those experiences without social media and without, you know, having the focus on all these small things that turn out to be huge things eventually? Has that shaped you as a person?
Yeah, definitely. You know, these times they bring out who you are.
Yeah.
So I realized that I'm a determined, stubborn person. I was stubborn when I was a child. I used to give my mom a hard time because I was really stubborn.
Yeah.
But that helped me, you know,
Yeah.
to get over what I passed through. And I see that in my kids. I see, like, for example, my daughter is so much like me. She is stubborn.
What's her name?
Katie.
Katie.
She's
Shout out
listening to
Katie.
me now. Katie and Emilio.
Katie and Emilio should be definitely proud kids watching Mama right now. So Katie's like you.
Yeah. She's
Okay.
she's very zealous, talented, but she's stubborn sometimes.
Right.
Yeah. And Emilio he's like very compassionate,
Yeah.
loving. They're both loving. They both have these
Yes.
traits, but one has more like me and one more like the father. You know
Yes.
how kids are,
Yes.
like more. Yeah. So so I see myself in her, and sometimes I like, no, don't be stubborn. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the age gap between them two?
Katie is 8 and Emilio is 13.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Katie's more like you.
Yeah. She's like me. Yeah.
Okay, well, here's a question for you now that you see Katie growing up and everything. Would you do anything different to advise a younger Dareen out there who might have faced a challenge now and needed to hear some words of guidance, would you do anything different that you've done in the past?
I would say don't criticize yourself too much, and don't be a perfectionist. It is hard at that age, and being stubborn, and I'm a perfectionist. I used to be a perfectionist, and sometimes I am like that, but I have overcome a lot of this thing, because perfection is not about reaching some point and you're there. No, it's progress. Perfection is progress. It's getting better each and every day.
Yes.
And this is what I try to teach my kids. It's okay to fail. It's okay to make mistakes. It's okay. Life is always, you're gonna be faced with that, but take it easy on yourself. Don't be hard on yourself too much, because I am hard on myself.
Yeah.
And just look at the big picture and look at what you have.
Yeah. Hey, listen, that's just one segment. I told you it was going to be good. And now we've done all that in one segment, from her facing the war to her facing one of the biggest challenges of her life and moving on. I like the perfection is progress. I love that. That's going to be like the caption of the day today. Right. Stay tuned for more on the only place to be at 3, the Halftime Show on Pulse 95.
This is the Halftime Show with Omar Adori on Pulse 95.
Sure is that time, and we're having a good time here on the Halftime Show. Dareen is in the building, and we are, let's say, riding the waves, enjoying our time. If you missed the first segment, whew, boy, I'll tell you now. You better check it out later. Dareen, we had a great question for you, actually, from Terry, who was saying, let's have a look here. Where was it? Yeah. Amazing to survivors, not just surviving, but thriving. Do you feel there's a lot of pressure for you to constantly be inspiring people? And how have you coped with it mentally?
Interesting question.
Very.
I don't put a lot of effort in being inspiring as much as being there on social media, keep sharing my story, keep doing that. Mm-hmm. That's a little bit pressuring for me, but being inspiring, I wouldn't say like it's something that I do with effort. I do it effortlessly. I took the decision 8 years ago to put my story out there and to be a public figure.
Yeah.
For me to help people, that's the only reason. To help people like me, to help people all over the world.
Yeah.
And I have helped a lot of people, and that gives me a lot of motivation to keep doing what I'm doing.
Yeah.
This is the only reason why I'm sharing my story.
Yeah.
I remind myself every time, even if I'm not in the mood, or I'm not, I'm a human being. I pass through times, and I'm a busy mom, you know. I have responsibilities. But I remind myself every time I feel that there are people out there that need to hear something from me that will encourage them, that will give them hope.
Yes, yeah. It looks like you saw my notes, Dareen. Motivation is a word thrown out there a lot these days.
Yeah.
I'm personally motivated by your determination, by your story, by being a mom, by being an athlete, by not letting obstacles get in your way. But what motivates you?
Motivation is not something like you find. It's something that you do that leads you there. Like, it's a discipline. It's if you are disciplined and committed, if you do the same thing with commitment and discipline every day, you will see results little by little, and then you will get, in the hand of doing it, and you will get motivated eventually.
Yes.
So it's not something like, come on, motivate me. No, it's not a feeling. It's something that you do that will bring you that energy to keep doing what you're doing.
Yes, and when you, again, you stole my notes. When you look back about 8...
I see you from behind
right, it's the energy.
Yeah.
When you, 8 years ago, when you decided to actually, explain and express yourself because of the people that could be facing similar challenges, what was going through your mind when you, taking that step? Because a lot of people might look at it and say, she's come out and she's told her story, but there's a lot in doing that. There's a lot of courage for you to do that. What was going through your mind mentally when you decided to take that step into a world like we live in now, like you mentioned earlier, like social media, with the war that you'd been through and with all these obstacles you'd face? What was going through your mind mentally?
Yeah. before I say what made me, actually, a little accident happened to me in 2013 that led me to go through this process of change inside out and coming out like that. Before that, I was living normally. I was trying to, please society, putting a cover on my leg, just for me not to hurt their feelings.
Yeah.
But deep down, I wasn't feeling myself. I wasn't accepting myself. And I was living like a normal life. I would go to the beach, remove my leg normally, but then put on my leg again, cover it, and go on with my life. Yeah. And I wasn't telling my story. I wasn't being inspiring. Like now, like people call me this.
Yeah.
So.
Well, you are absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. So in 2013, I had an accident. I fell down and I broke my hip, and that accident made me realize that, as a person, as a mom, I was neglecting myself. I wasn't loving myself. I wasn't taking care of myself. I wasn't exercising. So I went through rehabilitation, inside out, mentally and physically. I wanted to take care of myself. And then I was invited to talk and to tell my story at a dinner. And people were amazed. They told me, why don't you be a motivational speaker? I was like, okay. That's good. Yeah, I can tell my story more to other people. Yes. And what other way to tell my story? Through social media, like open a page and start sharing your story. Yeah. I was a bit hesitant, to tell you the truth, because I was afraid of the reaction of the people. I was afraid to be bullied or having negative comments. Yeah. All these stuff. But then I saw the huge, positivity and how many people needed me. Yeah. And especially when I removed the cover of my leg and I wanted to be free, to free myself, to wear whatever I want. I don't want to wear pants anymore. I want to wear shorts, skirts, dresses. I want to just be free. Yes. Walking in the mall, being stopped by people, asking me about my leg, like for example, one lady stopped me and she told me, my daughter is the same. Thank you so much for being an inspiration. Yeah. If she sees your picture, she will get inspired. She will have this confidence. So I had a purpose. Now a purpose was born. I had a reason and a purpose, and my all the question of why me got answered. Because when this happened to me, I was always asking, why me? Why this happened? Sometimes you don't get the answer right away. Correct. You have to find the answer, or you have to create it in a way. So I created a positive story out of my negative experience. Yeah. And this kept me going and going and going, and it inspires me to keep on going. It's
so many things you said there. One, not pleasing everyone. Two, accepting. How has your relationship with yourself improved since you've made those adjustments?
Oh, big time. I used to have a lot of doubts, lot of fears. Whenever I'm faced with any decision, I used to doubt myself and have fear. Now I just throw myself at the situation and see what happens. Just what's the worst that could happen?
It's like embracing fear.
Yeah, embracing fear, facing your fears. This is why I did what I did. I achieved what I achieved. Yeah. Because life has challenged me and somehow wanted to break me. Yeah. I wanted to challenge myself. I didn't want for the challenges to come my way. I wanted to create challenges for myself to grow better and better each and every day. Yeah.
Hey, listen, I told you.
Am I stealing your notes?
I can see you're looking at all the questions. You keep saying the right words just before it. Yeah. And before she steals my notes, before I say, we're going to take a break quickly. Here's some lady, and we'll be right back after the break. Enjoy, folks. I'll see you soon. Don't go anywhere.
This is the Halftime Show with Omar Adori on Pulse 95.
Sure is that time, and I know you're feeling the vibe because we're having a great time here at the studio. Dareen Barbar here on the show, and we were talking a lot of great stuff. I keep saying it. Every time we top a segment off, I'm like, how's she going to top this one off? And she's topped it off again and again. So make sure you catch the whole show. And listen, guys, if you do miss the the show. All the shows are available on podcasts. You've got Apple, Spotify, SoundCloud, and Rami. Or if you prefer a visual and want to see Dareen, you can see her on YouTube live at the moment right now on Pulse 95 Radio, or all the episodes get converted on the show to the YouTube channel. And we have the halftime show with all the fantastic guests. We cover things like mental health, gut health, and how the brain plays such an integral part in our daily life. Okay, Dareen, right, I gave you a little brief on reset before we came back. Now you know what reset's about. I think everyone wants to know, how do you reset?
Yeah. Of course, mentally, I realized that a person should have a goal in life. Not necessarily a big goal, like any goal, anything that you want to overcome. You should set something for yourself and try to achieve it. And for me, for example, it helped me to how I reset. It helps me to put goals for myself, athletically or in exercise.
Yeah.
And for example, if I feel like demotivated, I don't want to go to the gym, or I don't want to eat healthy. Sometimes I eat everything.
Yeah.
I don't believe in restrictive diets.
Yes.
Eat everything balanced. But sometimes you're like, I don't want to do anything. I would just want to sit on the couch and just. So I just remind myself of where I was before, and what my not taking care of myself, where it led me.
Yes.
And I just relive the feeling, and I don't want to be in that feeling again. So I reset my mind, like, no, I have to, be disciplined, be committed, and like drive away these thoughts.
Yes.
Also nutrition, I try to, be as healthy as possible.
Yeah.
And through my experience, I know my calories, I know everything, what I need to do.
Yeah.
I surround myself with positive people. Not always, like sometimes there are people that you need to see, they are negative, but they need you.
Right.
But I don't get myself
worked up over
by them, and because time is precious. This is what I realize. Time is precious.
Yeah.
And the most precious gift that you can give to a person is your time.
Yes.
And I try to give it to the right people, my time. I spend so much time with my family. I take care of them. I give them all my love, all my energy.
Yeah.
But first, I give myself first. I always think about myself first, what I need to do to reset every day.
Very good.
To take care of myself, because if you cannot give from an empty cup, you have to be full in order for you to give.
Correct.
So this is how I reset. We all pass through stress, through a lot of busy days. The past year was hard on everybody in the world. The COVID-19, we all had stress. We all our jobs were affected. Some people lost loved ones.
Yeah.
It's all hard. Life is not easy, and I think what makes us depressed is we expect life to be wonderful. We don't put the expectation that it's gonna be hard, it's gonna be tough.
Yeah.
And this is what I try to teach my kids. Like life is not a bed of roses. You're gonna face challenges. You're gonna get out in the world and have mean people, rude people, unkind people. You need to deal with them. You need to know not to be affected and not to be emotionally injured, like...
Yes.
So I learned all that because I passed through this.
Yeah.
So this is how I reset.
Very good answer. What's a typical day in the life of Dareen? And I ask this because when I was doing my research, I saw all these things. I'm thinking, mashallah, this is great. What does a typical day look like in the mom, the athlete, the motivational speaker, the ambassador, all these things? What does a normal day, or not a normal, because it can't be normal when you're a superhero.
Come on, I'm just a normal person.
That's what superheroes say. What does a normal day look like?
Yeah, I wake up early in the morning. Now my kids are mostly online.
Yeah.
They have online schooling. I drink my coffee. I sit with my lovely husband.
Yes.
Whom I love so much.
Yes.
He's listening to me.
What's
right
his name?
now. Ramzi.
Ramzi. Shout out to Ramzi. Yeah.
Yeah. What I love about my partner, Ramzi, he's my best friend,
Yes.
first of all, and we work together
Yeah.
for our family.
Yeah.
He's not like this typical,
Stereotype.
Yeah. He's
Yeah.
not like, a woman should take care of the kids and
Right.
the house, and
Right.
no. We work together.
Love it.
If I am like, I'm busy or I cannot do a task, he will do it for me.
Yes.
And the same.
Yes.
We complete each other.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I take care. I first take care of my kids. Give them breakfast, and then I go to the gym.
Yeah.
I work out,
Yeah.
and I train
Yes.
the people that I train.
Yes.
And then if I need to pick up groceries, I go to the bring my groceries like a normal mom.
Yeah.
I come back home, I cook lunch, we eat, sit with my kids. If they need help with their homework or they have exams, I study with them.
Yeah.
And then all like afternoon is all for like hanging out
Yeah.
or staying with my husband, doing activities with my husband.
Yeah.
And my kids also as
Right.
well.
Or
Yeah.
watching Homeland.
Yeah, or watching. I love, this past year,
Yeah.
the COVID-19, I feel like we stayed home a lot. I began to like it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just want to stay home and chill.
Yeah. No, that's you know
Yeah.
what, actually, speaking of Ramzi, actually, I was doing my research and I saw a lovely picture of you guys together and your caption was so nice. A lot of the times when you see things like that on social media, normally there was no masking it. It was so genuine. It was something where, for me as someone who's been in the fitness industry, to see an ambassador like yourself, glorifying that was super nice and very, very relevant to what people are facing now in relationships as well.
Yeah.
There's a lot, now that you spend more time with people, it's not always going to be, like you said, plain sailing or a bed of roses.
Yeah.
But I really loved that picture of you and Ramzi together on your Instagram. And I'm going to put your handle also in the list at the end so people can follow you, which was so nice. So again, I just thought I'd point that out because I got that visual when you mentioned him and I saw that picture. I think you guys were outdoors and it was so nice. Right, okay, we found out how she's going to reset. This is 3 segments already in. I'm going to play her track that she's requested right now, Extreme Ways by Moby, the Born Identity version, and then we'll be right back to take more questions and enjoy it, folks. We'll see you in a bit.
This is the Halftime Show with Omar Adori on Pulse 95.
Sure is that time. It's the Halftime Show with Omar Adori. Thank you very much for tuning in. I've had so much fun today, man. I hope you guys have enjoyed the show too. Fantastic guest Dareen Barbar is here on the show, and we've been talking off air, we've been talking on air. Plenty of great things from facing the war to facing her challenges when she faced the fact that she had to amputate her leg, obviously, and then also exceeding expectations, but also focusing on self-love and the relationship with herself, her family, her beautiful family, and all these things. Make sure you check it out. The full episode will be out later on YouTube, thanks to Super Mario and Gabby, who always produce our shows and make these episodes online available for you. Right, okay. Dareen. Okay, we got a couple of things. Firstly, I want to ask you, where do people follow you on social media? Can you tell us your handles, please?
Yeah, it's on Instagram, Dareen.Barbar. And I have a TikTok also. It's
Okay.
Dareen BG, I think. I think.
We're about to find out. Yeah, go on.
Yeah, and Facebook Dareen Barbar as well.
Okay, fantastic. Question coming in here as well. Is there one thing you can suggest to boost self-love?
Interesting. To boost self-love, I think self-love comes from awareness. Being aware what you put in your body.
Yeah.
The people you surround yourself with.
Yeah.
Question every time, like, is this good for me?
Yeah.
Is this gonna help me? Is this gonna? Where am I going with that? So these questions will help you be aware of who you are, what you want. And eventually you are loving yourself by taking care of yourself, asking these questions and putting a plan for yourself.
Yeah. And there's plenty of achievements, Dareen, that you've had, and especially recently it's come to the surface because you've been doing it for a while.
Yeah.
Can you tell us more about those achievements and also if you have anything coming up in the near future?
Yeah. The 2 biggest achievements that I've done is the WBFF, World Beauty, Fitness and Fashion Show in London. I was the first Arab amputee to participate in this pageant, and there wasn't like a division for disabled people there. So I participated in the transformation division, where I shared my before and after. And it was a huge impact on my life, because I got to face my fears on the stage and standing there, you know, like facing the judgment, facing everything, and I broke down all my fears. Fantastic. At that moment, and I felt really so happy and ecstatic at that moment. And then I when you do such achievement to yourself, you feel like, what can I do more? You know, what's more than that? So I wanted to challenge myself more. So I changed the sports. I went to doing endurance sports.
Nice.
And I started training for a triathlon. And it was also challenging for me, you know, to train, to have the running leg and to go on the bike, train on the cleats, you know, put your shoes
in the saddle.
And the fear of falling down, because if I fall down on my left side, that's it, I'm broken. You know? There's no way out. So I had to overcome my fear also as well, and also in running. I had only 3 weeks to train for running. But I did it in the end, because I was really determined on achieving this goal and doing like something that's been like a dream for me to do, because I haven't ran for a long time, and I'm doing a competition.
Yes.
So it was a great achievement for me.
That was 2018, correct?
Yeah.
Fantastic. And now you're an ambassador at the moment?
Yeah, I've been chosen by Adidas to be an ambassador, and it's really, I'm so proud, and it's so I'm so happy, really, because being the first one from people of determination in the region to be chosen by a big company like Adidas, like I grew up on that name, you know, like seeing the all the clothes, all the especially the football players, you know, wearing Adidas. So I love this brand, and it's a great privilege, you know, to be there.
Well done, Amanda. You did well on this one.
Thank you, Amanda. Hi.
Yeah, just thought I'd tell you that I really like this one. You picked a great one here. We are reaching full time on the halftime show. It's been fantastic. I hope you've enjoyed your experience with us here, Dareen.
Thank you. I really enjoyed it. Thank you so much, Hamar. You are doing a fabulous job on the show. Keep inspiring and keep talking about interesting subjects like that. And thank you so much. I will be reading your book after you gift me the book with a signed copy.
Signed copy, right? Okay, deal.
I want a signed copy.
There, the whole world has heard it now, so I have to do it now. No, it'll be my pleasure, Dareen, and thank you so much for coming on board. We have reached full time. Remember, guys, you can catch us every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday, 3 to 4. Obviously, in the heart of Sharjah on Pulse 95. I've enjoyed the show, and thank you again, Dareen.
Thank you.
If you liked this episode of The Halftime Show, drop a like and subscribe.
95.
Be sure to follow us on Instagram for all our daily updates and top stories.